Going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's the boss it. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm P-Lo, time to bring the bass dirt. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the NFL's all-time passing leader, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints as they take on Phillip Rivers and the LA Chargers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
In some ways, he reminds me of a past NFL great who played the quarterback position as well. Jawing with the opposition, trash talking a little bit, doesn't mind getting hit and battered around some. That kind of gets him into the game. But once it's time to lock in, Phillip Rivers does that as well as any quarterback in the league.
46. Hey, Brown 80. Check back.
First down, Rivers. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 6 there on first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield. And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations, so he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. And we get a quick look at the Chargers starting offense.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player, because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Henry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, on comes the Charger kicker, Michael Badgley. From the left hash, this from 34. Badgley's kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Saints now for their first drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
You're good. You're good. Ready.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Brees. And brought in by the tight end Cook. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Let's just go ahead and state the obvious. Safety Derwin James is one of the better players in the NFL. First team All-Pro as a rookie, also went to the Pro Bowl, and he shows up anywhere and everywhere on the field making plays.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. To throw is Brees. He's going to loft one deep left side. And this will be caught at the 30. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Desmond King making the tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Looking to throw on second down. Breeze. And that is incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week one, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Come on, one thing for sure, you know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a third down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole
bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. After the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Hey, block 15! I'm going to run you over.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Rivers now on second down. Benjamin with it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards, a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Rivers now already already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5 now. Rivers. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Take 390! 390!
65! 65!
Throwing, Rivers in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Alex Anzalone coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
And from this field goal unit comes out here. Badgley able to punch this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, hits traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 29, Breeze. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
A very solid gain of 27. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Breeze again. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Breeze. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Thomas Davis. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge differences we know between...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Off to Thomas on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Melvin Ingram in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The throw over the middle, taken in. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Rivers on 1st down. Benjamin's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rivers to Gordon, out left. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To the air again here. Rivers gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Rivers now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, ball may come your way.
Rivers now. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Virgil Green, as the first half is winding down, and the Chargers are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This will be fielded at the 8. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, but it'll be 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started, as we normally do, on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out onto the field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. And we roll tape now on his solid performance.
And what we've been seeing so far is a great combination of finesse and aggressiveness in running his routes and making plays. That's what you want in any type of a receiver. The guy knows exactly what to do on a given play and ends up making the plays that help your team win.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Shoot up, shoot up.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. They pick up 12 on the play, and the chains move.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st down, Murray. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Bridgewater. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. But I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Let's go.
Yeah, they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you You said they picked it up.
Here we go. Here we go. This is Pittsburgh. Hey, come on now. Come on now.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Oh, he stays up. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
You better stop your boy. You better stop your boy.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Bridgewater going with a screen for Murray. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Bridgewater now. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. The former 3rd-round pick, Justin Jones, bringing the lumber that time.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
It's going to be a long day. Back, back, back.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On the sneak, it's Bridgewater. Trying to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He did it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Vince Beagle, the one to bring him down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
On second down, Eckler. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now Taylor. It's caught. Patton.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Purple?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
He can run for it, and he will. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And Green with a catch left side. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night, and that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Arnold. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Hill. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And avoids the contact by sliding. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Ready, 8, read. Blue there, blue there.
On first down, it's Hill. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long. It's Hill. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. So here we go on 4th. Hill. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is a counter play. Eckler. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. It's Eckler again. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. It was P.J. Williams that time on the tackle. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
Think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
They'll run here with Eckler. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. On third down, here's Eckler. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Now they'll throw with Taylor. They'll roll him out right. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive – remember we talked with the offensive line? And one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
15 yards on the play, first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hill on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
To throw again on second down. Hill forced out to his left. He's got the first down here inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game's second half, no quitting him.
Zero.
Going for it all. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Off of play action, Hill. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? Seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown's going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
Here's Hill, flushed out right. He may try and run for this. The ball comes out, and that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. And ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
From the gun, here's Hill. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. From 4 yards out. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Back to throw. Hill, he's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
On the give, this is Eckler. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now a whistle and a timeout defensively. Trying to stop it, and they do with 2 seconds to go prior to the 2-minute warning. The Chargers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. A handoff, it's Eckler. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Saints' 12-yard line.
Set. 44. Watch the backer. Watch the backer. Jim.
Taylor to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
How many of y'all came to win?
That's my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO.